The quiet suburban street prided itself on its manicured lawns and matching mailboxes, each one identical to the last. That peace fractured the day Karen moved in. She became the self-appointed enforcer of every unwritten rule, scanning driveways like a hawk. When a neighbor unveiled a new mailbox larger, sleek, and modern, Karen's outrage sparked. She saw it as a personal insult to the neighborhood's standards. It didn't matter that it met postal regulations. To her, it was a threat to order. She wasn't content to complain. She began documenting evidence, determined to make the homeowner pay. Karen's obsession deepened. She marched around with a clipboard, snapping pictures of the offending mailbox from every angle, muttering about property values. She cornered other neighbors, demanding support, but most dismissed her rants. When no one rallied to her cause, Karen escalated. She called the police, claiming the mailbox violated federal laws and obstructed sightlines. The sight of an officer pulling into the driveway sent a ripple of confusion through the street. The homeowner, coffee in hand, watched as Karen stood smugly by, certain she was about to witness her victory unfold. The officer inspected the mailbox, measuring its height and distance from the curb. Karen hovered like a storm cloud, pointing to imaginary infractions. But the officer's calm demeanor never shifted. Finally, after a thorough check, he returned to his car, leaving Karen with a cold fact. The mailbox was fully compliant. Her smile faltered as the homeowner quietly returned inside, unbothered. Yet defeat only fueled her anger. If the law wouldn't back her, she would find another way. Karen began drafting letters, citing HOA-style rules she created herself, vowing this battle was far from over. Karen's homemade violation notices started appearing in the homeowner's mailbox. Bold red stamps warned of fines, legal threats, and pending action. It was absurd but persistent, and soon she was handing out flyers to other neighbors, painting herself as the defender of community aesthetics. The homeowner, however, wasn't intimidated. Instead, he collected each letter, filing them away carefully. The stage was being set for something far bigger. Behind the scenes, he researched postal regulations, property rights, and even defamation laws. While Karen believed she was tightening a noose, he was quietly weaving a trap. Weeks passed, and Karen's theatrics grew louder. She spoke of lawsuits at block parties, ranted on local Facebook groups,
Ads!
and even accused the homeowner of endangering children with the oversized box. But her behavior wasn't going unnoticed. Neighbors began filming her confrontations, amused by her intensity. Meanwhile, the homeowner discovered something critical. Karen's flyers were stuffed into other residents. Boxes of federal offense. Each piece of evidence became another brick in a wall forming against her. What she saw as community protection was, in fact, a trail of self-incrimination waiting to collapse. One sunny morning, a thick envelope arrived at Karen's door. Inside was a formal cease and desist letter, citing harassment, defamation, and illegal use of mailboxes. Attached were photos, videos, and postal statutes, each page more damning than the last. Karen's bluster wavered. She had crossed into legal territory she didn't understand. As neighbors watched curiously, she scrambled to defend herself, firing off angry emails and claims of community service. But the homeowner's response was simple and devastating. He had already filed a complaint with the postal inspector and copied the local HOA board. The fallout was swift. A federal investigator arrived, interviewing neighbors and reviewing evidence. Karen's face turned pale as she realized the severity of her actions. The same streets she once patrolled now whispered about her recklessness. The homeowner remained calm, never raising his voice, only presenting facts. When the official warned her of potential fines and criminal charges, her bravado shattered. She apologized to anyone who would listen, but the damage was done. The neighborhood's patience had worn thin, and her reputation, once bossy but tolerable, was now irreparably stained. The final blow came at the next HOA meeting. The board voted to censure Karen, banning her from distributing materials and issuing a public apology. Neighbors, tired of her antics, shared the entire saga online, and the videos went viral. Karen, once eager for control, became the cautionary tale of the block. The homeowner's mailbox stood untouched, a quiet monument to patience and strategy. In the end, it was auntie size or style that mattered, but the reminder that even the nosiest neighbor can dig a hole too deep to climb out of.